guys, I do want to say that my flight with United Airlines was really, really awesome. The only issue that I had with them was that the plane came a little late and they didn't give anybody extra time to get to their transfer. So I was actually like 5 minutes from missing my connection in Chicago to Sioux Falls. And also great customer service, great food options. And they really emphasized just trying to be there on time. And then with the delay, it was just that they had an issue with the bathroom and the light fixtures in it. So I was very, very happy that they actually just, hustled and got that all done really. So, 3 out of 5 stars for United Airlines. Definitely way better than Delta Airlines.
First stop on my adventure was the Keg Chicken. I was inspired to visit because of a YouTuber named Randy Santel, who took on the Yardbird Chicken Challenge. This challenge gives you 2 options. You can choose 20 boneless chicken tenders or 16 pieces of bone-in chicken, along with 2 pint-sized sides, a pound of French fries, and you have 45 minutes to complete it all. If you succeed, you win a free t-shirt, a picture with their title belt, and you don't have to pay for the $45 meal.
So the fried chicken is really good. It's nice and crispy. It has a good amount of grease to it, but it's not like super greasy or super salty like you would see in Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's really breaded and it's very delicious. They also have
An interesting fact I learned about South Dakota is that gambling is legal in the state. Many establishments like the Keg Chicken feature private rooms where you can try your luck at video slot machines and video poker. The video poker reminded me of the classic Super NES games my brother and I played as kids, like Super Mario Brothers. Overall, my experience at the Keg Chicken and the casino room earned a rating of 3 out of 5 stars from me. I would definitely recommend it as a great chicken spot. The Great Plains Zoo spans over 45 acres and is home to more than 1,000 animals representing over 150 species. It took about 2 hours to get through the zoo, even though the sun was very hot and they were screaming kids all over the place. And the zoo smelled like my older brother apartment. I still really enjoyed myself. It's always exciting to see exotic animals, and I was very lucky to see things like a flamingo giving itself a bath, which to me is once in a lifetime.
So I'm really enjoying my time at the Great Plains Zoo. And I do want to say that it's $19 well spent. It's a 5 out of 5 for me. It was definitely very fun, very spacious, a lot of diversity of animals. And then I also got this thing called like root beer cream. So what they do is they put like vanilla cream in a root beer and it actually tastes pretty good. It's almost like having a vanilla ice cream root beer float with a bit of a cream taste and looking like an iced latte type of thing, really.
My next stop is the USS Battleship South Dakota Memorial, and the best part is that visiting is completely free, though donations are appreciated. It's amazing to imagine what life was like on a battleship like this, especially during combat. I can only picture how loud and chaotic it must have been. One striking feature of the memorial is its design. It almost appears as if the battleship is partially submerged in the lawn, creating a fascinating optical illusion. It gives visitors the impression that a significant part of the ship is just below the surface. Inside the gift shop, you'll find a treasure trove of old photographs that provide a window into the past. Visiting the memorial struck an emotional chord with me, as it reminded me of my visit to Pearl Harbor and the gravesite of the USS Arizona last year. It truly made me reflect on the sacrifices that soldiers made during World War II. These brave individuals endured unimaginable violence, constantly facing the threat of death while stationed for long periods in challenging conditions. I often think about how different our world would be today if the Axis powers had emerged victorious. The sacrifices made by what we now call the greatest generation had a monumental impact on shaping the modern world. As for the USS South Dakota itself, it was a battleship of the United States Navy that played a crucial role during World War II. Commissioned in 1942, It participated in several significant battles, including the Battle of the Santa Cruz Islands and the Battle of Guadalcanal. The ship was known for its impressive firepower and resilience, earning 13 battle stars for its service.
So I'm here at Washington Pavilion, and they have like this Pink Floyd show. So they're showing Pink Floyd with planetarium scene. So it's like it's gonna be really awesome. They're showing the whole Dark Side of the Moon album. And also too they have like this Dark Side of the Moon flavor ice cream where it's just chocolate ice cream with sprinkles. It's definitely very fudgy, but very delicious. So you saw Saturn, you saw, like a rocket ship leaving Earth. You saw stuff that you would see in 2001: A Space Odyssey, and a couple other very colorful, very rainbow type of visuals. I would say that some of the weaknesses was that the footage was a little repetitive. And it seems like they actually ran out of space footage or ideas for space graphics. So they started to show like underwater stuff and jellyfish and other things that were not related to space. So that's not usually good. That's almost like, somebody who just can't, stick with their general idea and just give up on it and just have other types of graphics, But it was very, very enjoyable. This was like around like $12, $13. So it was definitely worth it, but I would give it like a 3 out of 5 for me, I think. Yeah, this bison burger looks really, really good. And I just love the color of the cheddar, and I like the amount of bacon. And I also like it because, it's definitely a good amount of beef, but it's not like way too much. I've gone to many restaurants where the portions are too big. And then over here is the macaroni and cheese. It's not my... this looks like the Velveeta macaroni and cheese where it's like with a cheese sauce, not like, crusted cheese or baked macaroni and cheese. But I'll try it out. So what I have to say about the bison burger is that the meat is a little bit more tougher than a regular ground beef burger. Ground beef burger is one of those things too, you bite into it, it kind of disperses in your mouth a little bit more. But with like a bison burger, just like with a steak, it's probably like maybe a more denser meat, but I'm not trying to say that it's done poorly. It's definitely a lot more lean. It's not fatty, it's not greasy. It's more of a meaty taste, and I really enjoy it. It's not a bad burger at all. I'm very happy.
I went to Falls Park during sunrise to capture some stunning footage with my DJI Osmo 6. After working 64 to 88 hours a week for 3 years at a hospital to help COVID patients, I realized how much I'd neglected my passion for filmmaking. It felt liberating to finally create something meaningful. However, this journey hasn't been easy. Throughout my filmmaking endeavors in Connecticut, I faced a barrage of bullying, mental health discrimination, and racism. I've had to overcome insecurities that have haunted me for far too long. One particularly harsh moment came at the Actors Gym in Hamden, Connecticut. The director mailed me and said, "With the hell of an amount of hours you're working, you're clearly not serious about filmmaking." This guy, who mentioned that he studied psychology, claimed that mentoring meant that we both know it would be a waste of time. I was very happy to get away from this person and get away from Connecticut because there was a strong mentality of hurting feelings or attacking people's insecurities to get people to prove others wrong. And as I've learned, it makes no sense to prove yourself to people that have no respect for you from the get-go, even though we like to prove people wrong. I'm also happy to travel because I feel of freedom and I feel a sense of nobody can control me or manipulate me anymore. The food options look very, very delicious. So I got Belgian waffle with banana and strawberry on it.
And then there's like this caramel sauce that you pour on it as well. So I can't wait to try that out. And then I also got a Mexican style omelet, so it's gonna have like bacon and salsa and sour cream on it and some peppers inside of it, so I can't wait to try this out. This looks really, really delicious. The omelet is really delicious. I like the salsa on it. The cheese and the bacon go very well, and also there's the sour cream. Inside of it, they have a little bit of avocado in it, and it adds a good taste to it. So this is a really great combination. It really made my morning.
After breakfast, I headed to the Cathedral of St. Joseph, a striking building that offered me the perfect opportunity to practice with my DJI Osmo. Thankfully, no one was inside, allowing me to capture some of my best footage yet. The experience reminded me of my art history classes, where I studied Romanesque and Gothic architecture. The cathedral is the seat of the Diocese of Sioux Falls and has a rich history dating back to 1881. But what struck me most was its beauty and the serenity it brought me as I filmed. Unfortunately, I learned that Urban Chislik had permanently closed, which was disappointing since I had been looking forward to trying chislik for the first time. This dish, consisting of skewered cubes of red meat, is a South Dakota staple, and I was excited to taste it along with their fried cheese curds. The YouTuber Randy Santel even attempted a challenge there known as the Gorilla Dumpster Challenge. In this challenge, participants had 1 hour to eat an astonishing 100 ounces of chislik comprising beef, lamb, chicken, and pork, along with double portions of potato chips, cheese curds, and French fries.
The chili's definitely delicious. I'm actually a little surprised because it lacks any form of spice, and I know a lot of times people expect spice in chili. I really appreciate the pieces of meat. I like the beans. It definitely is, covered with a lot of corn in it, You kind of overdid it with the corn, but otherwise, this is a really great option. Yeah, definitely the pizza is hot as hell. It looks a little undercooked. It's definitely cheesy, but it's kind of low quality to me.
Welcome to the Danny Sanford Premier Center. For the safety of all guests, all concession stands.
Definitely the crowd was really, really hot for this show, but I really just didn't like it. I felt that, they didn't do a good job building up to All Out, and it feels like, what hurts AEW is that they're very, very poor at their worst. They just have match after match after match, and they only build up to one match to All Out, which is Mercedes Moné versus Hikaru Shida. I was happy that they did a little conversations with all the female wrestlers in that match. As I've been saying, that's kind of the issue with AEW is that, they don't really emphasize stories. And Kyle Fletcher versus Tomohiro Ishii was a great match. This was just really, I think, their Labor Day show. So just, okay, all the wrestlers were in Wembley Stadium. There are some people who want to celebrate Labor Day, so this is kind of the B crew, and they can't really do that. They have to kind of make sure Collision, they have to be okay, the arena was like half filled, you know, so they had to kind of do a little bit better just to make it worth it. I think they're okay with doing the easiest thing, which is lowering the ticket prices, because I did see some ringside seats for $41 in the ringside section at the very, very end. But, you know, why can't you just improve the quality of the show? So my time in Sioux Falls, South Dakota was very magical, and I'm very happy that I knocked it off, and I just have to go to the state of Wyoming to have visited all 50 states. And then also, I'm very proud that I was able to practice my cinematography skills, and I know that, you know, one day I'm going to have my 1,000 subscribers, and I'm going to be able to do travel videos and make money off of that, but continuously grow my skills, no matter what other people say about me. And then the other thing is that it was unfortunate that my other purpose was going to AEW Collision, and the show was definitely lackluster. And it's like what people say, it's not surprising that ringside seats went as low as $41. But, you know, with all that said, I still enjoyed South Dakota. It was a very, very beautiful city, Sioux Falls, and definitely I love to visit here again and get more out of it. So, a very, very great trip and something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.